Imagine you are floating in your spacecraft, staring out the window at the most beautiful thing you have ever seen in your entire life. A planet so massive, it makes Earth look like a grain of sand. Swirling clouds of orange, red, and white, moving like a living painting across the sky. You can see the storms. You can see the bands of color shifting and rotating. From here, it almost looks peaceful. Almost looks like something you could reach out and touch. You tell yourself this is the greatest moment in human history. You are the first person to ever get this close. And then, your instruments start going insane. Nobody tells you how beautiful Jupiter is before they tell you how deadly it is. That's the cruel thing, because the first time you see it, truly see it up close, your brain does not register danger, it registers wonder. The planet glows, it pulses, it looks almost alive, like something breathing slowly in the dark of space. But something is wrong. The closer you get, the more your ship starts to react. Not dramatically at first, just small things. A vibration, a reading that doesn't make sense, a faint pull you can feel in your chest before your instruments even confirm it. That pull is Jupiter's gravity, and it has already decided what happens to you next. You are still millions of kilometers away. Jupiter is already in control of your body. Jupiter's gravitational pull is so overwhelming that it bends the path of spacecraft that aren't even heading toward it. NASA's probes, Voyager 1, Voyager 2, Galileo, all used Jupiter's gravity as a slingshot, not because they wanted to, but because fighting it was never really an option. The planet doesn't ask, it pulls. And the moment you enter its sphere of influence, you are no longer the one flying the ship. The math is simple and terrifying. Jupiter is 318 times more massive than Earth. To stand on its cloud tops, if such a thing were even possible, you would weigh more than twice what you weigh on Earth. Your body would feel like it was filled with concrete. Your organs would strain under their own weight. Your heart would work harder than it was ever designed to work, just to keep blood moving to your brain. But here's the problem. You are not landing on anything solid. There is no surface. There is no ground. Jupiter is not a planet you can touch. It is a planet that will swallow you. You begin your descent, except descent is not the right word. The right word is fall, because Jupiter's atmosphere grabs you like a hand closing around a piece of paper. The winds at the outer edge of the cloud layers move at over 600 kilometers per hour. Not gusts, not storms, constant, unrelenting wind that has been blowing for longer than human civilization has existed. The Great Red Spot, that massive storm you could see from space, is bigger than the entire Earth, and it has been raging for at least 350 years, possibly much longer. Your spacecraft begins to shake, then vibrate, then shake in ways that make the vibration feel gentler by comparison. But it gets worse. As you fall deeper, the pressure begins to build. On Earth, you live under about 1 atmosphere of pressure. Comfortable, natural, the pressure your body was built for. At the top of Jupiter's cloud layer, it is already 1 atmosphere, but you keep falling. You have no choice, and by the time you reach just 50 kilometers below the cloud tops, the pressure is 2 atmospheres, then 5, then 10, then more, so much more. The Galileo probe, an unmanned spacecraft NASA sent into Jupiter in 1995, was crushed and vaporized before it even made it 200 kilometers deep. It was built to survive. It was built by the best engineers on Earth with the best materials available. And Jupiter destroyed it in less than an hour. You are not a probe. You are made of flesh and blood. And this is where things change. You expect space to be cold. You have been told your whole life that space is cold, and it is out there, in the void between planets. Temperature drops to nearly absolute zero. But Jupiter is not cold. Jupiter generates more heat than it receives from the sun. Let that sit for a moment. The planet creates its own heat from the inside, from the gravitational compression of all that gas pressing down on itself layer after layer, an ocean of hydrogen being squeezed so hard it starts to behave like a liquid, then like a metal, then like something we don't have words for yet. As you fall deeper, the temperature climbs. 150 degrees, then 300, then beyond anything your instruments were designed to measure. The pressure and heat begin working together now, not as separate dangers, but as a single force. A force designed, it feels like, specifically to unmake anything that enters. Your spacecraft, what's left of it, begins to compress. The hull folds inward, the windows crack and shatter. But there is nothing left to pour in, because the atmosphere itself is now so thick and so hot that the line between gas and liquid no longer exists. You are not falling through air anymore. You are falling through something that has no name. But that's not even the worst.
Before any of this happens, before the gravity and the wind and the pressure and the heat, before you even get close enough to see the storms in detail, something invisible has already started killing you. Jupiter's magnetic field is the most powerful of any planet in the solar system, 14 times stronger than Earth's. And that magnetic field traps radiation, electrons and protons moving at nearly the speed of light in enormous belts around the planet. You have to pass through these belts just to approach Jupiter. There is no route around them. There is no safe corridor. NASA's Juno spacecraft, one of the most radiation-hardened probes ever built, shielded inside a titanium vault, accumulates radiation damage every single orbit. Its instruments degrade a little more each time it passes close to the planet. It is a machine built for this exact environment, and Jupiter is still slowly killing it. The human body absorbs a lethal dose of radiation in minutes inside those belts. Not hours, minutes. Your suit cannot stop it. Your ship cannot stop enough of it. The radiation passes through metal like light through glass, and it passes through you the same way, except unlike light, it tears through your DNA as it goes, breaking cellular bonds, corrupting the instructions your body uses to keep itself alive. You would be dying before you even saw the clouds up close. And here's the thing that scientists don't say enough out loud. We don't actually know what is at the center of Jupiter. We have theories, models, educated guesses built on physics and mathematics and decades of observation. The leading theory suggests there is a solid core of rock and metal somewhere at the center, compressed to a density beyond anything we can recreate on Earth, at temperatures of around 35,000 degrees Celsius, hotter than the surface of the sun. But some recent data from Juno suggest the core might not be solid at all. It might be something called a fuzzy core, a diffuse, partially dissolved region where rock and gas and liquid metal all blur together into something that doesn't fit any category we have. We sent something into Jupiter, we watched it die, and we still don't know what's at the bottom. That is the part that should terrify you most. Not the pressure, not the radiation, not the heat. The fact that we have aimed our best instruments at this planet for decades, and Jupiter still holds secrets, still holds things we cannot explain. A planet that size, with that much going on inside it, in the dark, in the deep, it does not give up its answers easily, and it does not give back what it takes. Here's the thing about Jupiter that no mission briefing will ever prepare you for. Jupiter is not hostile to humans in the way a predator is hostile to prey. It is not trying to destroy you. It simply exists, massive, ancient, indifferent, operating by rules of physics so extreme that the concept of human survival doesn't even register. You are not a threat to Jupiter. You are not even a consideration. You are a brief, soft, fragile thing that wandered too close to something that was never built for you. The solar system did not evolve with us in mind. We evolved inside one tiny sheltered corner of it, a small rocky planet with just enough atmosphere, just enough warmth, just enough magnetic protection to allow something as delicate as a human being to exist. And we looked out from that corner and saw beauty everywhere. We saw color and scale and motion, and we called it wonder. But Jupiter is what the universe actually looks like without the protection. That is the real planet. That is the real scale. Crushing pressure and violent storms and radiation and heat and an interior so extreme we cannot model it accurately. science is weak, but because the universe at full power is simply beyond us. We were not meant to go there. And somewhere deep down, past the curiosity, past the wonder, past everything that makes us point telescopes at the sky and dream about the stars, some part of you already knows that. The universe is not waiting for us. It is simply continuing the way it always has, with or without anyone alive to witness it.